Welcome to episode 122 of the Radio Control Show.
Sponsored by amainhobbies.com, your one-stop RC hobby store.
Short course trucks are getting hotter and hotter every day, and more keep coming out. Now the hottest segment right now are the four-wheel drive short course trucks. And one of the hottest trucks in that segment is this here, the Team Associated SE10 4x4. Now this is my truck, and this is the one I'm reviewing for the magazine. You'll see it in a future issue of RC Car Action. It comes as a kit, so you pretty much have to assemble everything you see here. They recently just introduced it as a ready-to-run truck, so we're going to have that pretty soon too. Now, one of the things about this truck is I plan on racing it, and they do include rubber for the rims, but I decided to switch it up to some J-Concepts Goosebump tires because that's what works best at my local track. So I glued those up to the KMC style wheels here, and I'm ready to go. Now, I already had this truck out quick on a track up at RC Madness for the Short Course Nationals, and a couple things I found out about this truck right away is that it does have a lot of steering. I was very happy with the steering on the truck, but the rear end seemed to be a little bit loose in the turns. But everywhere else around the truck felt really good. It was very stable over the bumps, and it did well on the jumps. The only other thing I noticed is I have a ton of power in this thing, and down the straightaway, it seemed to come up onto the tires and be a little sketchy down the straightaway, so it was a little bit of a handful. I think if I tone it down a little bit and maybe lower the ride height a little, it should be much better. So I made some minor tweaks to it, and now I'm down here at Pin Shop Hobbies where I plan on racing the truck, so I'm going to make some changes, take it out on the track and see how it is, and get ready for my next local club race. Some of the changes I've already made to the truck before I go out again were to take off these the protectors here for the shock shafts. They have some bladders here that cover up the shock shaft, keep debris and dirt away from them. I feel like they might actually bind up the suspension because as you compress the shock, it seemed like they were keeping it from compressing all the way. So I took those off. And another thing I did to the shocks was I'm running bladders in these shocks here. So I removed the bleeder screws from the shock caps, which allows air to flow in and out of the shock shaft and prevent pack on the shocks. Another thing I did was to help with that rear end traction is I moved the rear hub a little bit forward, and what that'll do is get some more weight over the rear tires and maybe stabilize it a little bit. It might work, it might not work, I'm not sure yet, and that's the whole idea of testing. You want to go and make a change, see if it does anything. If it doesn't, put it back to the way it was. If you go ahead and make a ton of changes and you get it all out of whack, you don't have to worry about it because all you have to do is just reset everything to the stock factory settings and then go from there again.
Model Airplane News, John Reed recently attended the Big Jolt All-Electric Fly-In in Chino Hills, California. This event draws all sorts of planes, from ducted fan jets and warbirds to gliders and event multi-engine heavy bombers. John attached a video camera to a T-34 Mentor to give us an RC pilot's eye view.
I'm a really big fan of racing, and when I go out to race, I want to make sure I have a nice pit space available to me, so when I'm racing I have a comfortable day and I have enough space to work on. What I like to do is set up a pit space like what I have here. I have two smaller tables because they're easier to move around and get in my truck and out. And I like two because I like to have the extra space. So I usually work on one, and then the other one's used for like storage and my tools and stuff like that. Another thing I like to bring with me all the time now is this hex deck from Hex Screws. It's magnetic, so if you drop a screw or you want to work on your car, you can kind of throw your screws down and they stay in place. Now I still bring a towel with me to put my tools on because I don't want them to roll off the table, and I want them to stay in place. So I still use a pit towel. But I got this nice big workspace I can work on, magnetic. It's easy to wipe off, it's awesome. I also bring my whole toolbox here, and this is full of lots and lots of tools and adapters and everything else I need. And I keep it close by so that if I need to get something, I can easily just pull open a drawer, you know, and get what I gotta get for tools. And I always bring a tent because you don't want to be sitting out in the sun, even if it's not a hot day. It's still nice to have a tent over your head to keep the sun off and keep you from sweating. But this is basically how I go to the track every weekend. I really like this setup. It's nice and comfortable, and it makes me enjoy my day just a little bit more. To get more information on the Hex Deck featured in our last segment, join our RC Car Action members only site and watch the full in-depth video.
A-Main Hobbies, the biggest selection of remote control cars, trucks, planes, and helicopters. Want parts and accessories? A-Main Hobbies has what you need. Visit us at amainhobbies.com or call 800-705-2215. Get it all at A-Main Hobbies. Leave your competition in the dirt.
Featured in the October issue of Model Airplane News, the E-Flite Habu 32 is one of the hottest tickets for your first taste of speed. Flown and reviewed by contributor Rich Yurovich, this new composite and wood speed demon sets the bar for performance and value in the 80mm fan category. This is what serious jet action is all about.
RC Car Action is about to reach a new fan record on Facebook. To celebrate, we're giving away a one-of-a-kind custom HPI Baja 5e buggy that was featured in our September issue. It's built with brushless power, LiPo batteries, and a custom painted body by Ziegler's RC Graphics. This mean machine is valued at over $2,400 and can be yours. To enter, all you have to do is like us on Facebook. If you're already a fan, click Welcome on the left-hand side of our page. The RC Car Action Ultimate Facebook giveaway ends October 1st. This weekend, Matt Higgins and I will be heading to Crandon, Wisconsin for the Fall Traxxas Torque Series race. We can't wait to get on the track and bring you all the action from the weekend.
Tune in next week for exclusive footage from the race, and be sure to keep an eye on rccaraction.com for live streaming coverage all weekend long. Head on over to rccaraction.com/rcshowsweeps and modelairplanenews.com/rcshowsweeps. Fill out the form and enter these promo codes to win. Good luck. This Labor Day weekend is a great time to stock up and save at AirRaidStore.com. Everything in the store is 50% off between now and Thursday, September 7th. Don't miss out. Remember to head to your local hobby shop or newsstand for the October issues of Radio Control Car Action and Model Airplane News.
You can also check out rccaraction.com and modelairplanenews.com for everything we covered this week.
Thanks again for joining us on the Radio Control Show.
And we'll see you next time.